What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we are going to be talking none other about something I'm excited to talk about, and that is BT-18's fully revealed. So we get to talk about all the cool arts, all the stuff, and I kind of did it a little bit differently this time. I actually did it by their full evolution in their color, so you'll get to enjoy that. So without further ado, let's talk about it. So let's get into Red itself. First off, the new Digitama is none other than Demi-Mera. If you have a Red Tamer, delete one of your opponent's Digimon 3000 DP or less. I feel like this was supposed to go with Owen a little bit more, because that removal is decent enough to combo, but I think there was just something that it's missing. The fact that Owen's line didn't even get anything in this set besides just him getting a Tamer kind of annoys me just a tad bit. I think he should have had his full line, but that's what it is. But we did get Gazemon for the Millenniumon line, so it's an on-play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Millenniumon in its name and 1 card with Sight or Wicked God, trade among them to your hand, return the rest to the bottom of the deck, and it has retaliation. So if it trades up with anything, it's not bad. But you also have Deltamon here that has raid, but on play, when Digivolving, by trashing 1 card in your hand, return 1 card with composite, blah. Wicked Avatar, trade from your trash to your hand, it just got retaliation. Then you have Chimera being a red purple as well. When Digivolving, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the one of, by deleting one of your Digimon, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. Not a bad trade-off, especially if it combos nicely with another thing. On deletion, one of your Machine Dramon in play and 1 Chimera, and you trash my DNA Digivolve into Millenniumon in your hand, and getting security attack 1 for its abilities. Millenniumon is a really powerful card. This thing, I'm surprised, to be straight honest with you, that it didn't gain the ability of the Indominate, the one that basically says what Millenniumon was doing back in set 1. So yeah, I'm surprised that it didn't gain this, but it's a DNA between Chimera and Machine Dramon. It's a very unique DNA because it's a level 5 and a level 6, and it's very interesting to see this. So on play, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon, then if you DNA by returning 1 of each Digimon with different levels from your trash to the top of your deck. For each card return, gain 1 memory. So not a bad trade-off. And then on deletion, return 1 Chimera Machine Dramon from your trash to the bottom of the deck. Play 1 Millenniumon from your trash without paying its cost. So this is hard Millenniumon, so it can only be itself. But it digicrosses with Chimera Machine Dramon, which is really solid. I like where this deck is going. It definitely needs another wave of support before we can actually really think about this deck doing something, but it's not bad. Then we have Shamanmon, so all turns your opponent can't gain memory except with Tamer effects. It's a decent upgrade here. We haven't had Red get one of these yet, but now we finally have one in Red, the memory negators. Then you have a Goblinmon that says on play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon 2000 DP or less. Then you have Grumplemon for its next stage in evolution. On play, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon 3000 DP or less. When attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon 3000 DP or less. I kind of wish that the Demi-Mera actually gave a boost in the damage threshold. I know that you're just going to probably just play the Guilmon X line, but it just a little bit better if you guys had that. On play, when Digivolving for Gigasmon, that's one of your Digimon gains rush for the turn. And then when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP for the... That's not terrible. Then you have Volcanomon, which is its next stage in evolution. It has raid. When attacking, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP until the opponent's turn. It's just not going to see much competitive play. Ancient Volcanomon. This is where Ancients kind of copy the prior Ancients of Ancient Greymon and Ancient Garurumon. So they basically have a Digicross effect, which is pretty solid. So this thing comes in for a mere 8 costs, which isn't terrible. All turns, when this Digimon would leave the barrier from this Digimon's Digivolution card, you may return 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card from your hand, or play 1 such card without paying its cost. Not a bad trade-off. And then on play, when Digivolving, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. Small DP removal is good. Bokomon is straight up red. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with hybrid 10 warrior traits and 1 red Tamer card with inheritable effects among them to your hand. Return the rest of the bottom of the deck. This card is exactly what Red Hybrid needed for a while, and this actually solves the Bokomon issue that we've had in the past because Pokemon's not searchable in any capacity. But with Pokemon now being able to be searched, I'm excited. It's now can Digivolve in Raising too, which is not terrible. This now fixes the issue that Sistermons have been causing and playing Jessamon for years. So your turn, when any of your Digimon or Tamer Digivolves into a Digimon with Hybrid or 10 Warrior traits, gain 1 memory. Not a bad deal. It's a little weaker than its counterpart, the pure white version, but the red version is actually pretty solid. Then you have like a Goonimon here, so when Digivolve, you may return 1 card with Hybrid or 10 traits from, or 1 Tamer with Inheritables from your trash to your hand. Just good cycling, and then it gives plus 2000 DP. You know what a Goonie's gonna do, as a Goonie wishes. Then Emperor Greymon is a tricolor card. So yeah, this Digivolves on Takuya with 5 hybrid traits under it for a cost of 5. When Digivolving for each color in this Digievolution card, trash 1 Digievolution of one of your opponent's Digimon, suspend 1 of their Digimon, and then this Digimon may attack. It's not a bad trade-off. It applies pressure in your turn when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, against security attack 1 for the turn and unsuspend it. So if you can keep it your turn and you can get some extra lethal damage, not bad. Triple color, gets big body real quick, and as long as you can give it piercing, oh, it's scary. As I mentioned, Owen Dreadnought got revealed, but no Digimon line at all. But all turns, when an opponent's Digimon security card is removed by suspending this Tamer, delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less. And it's a mem setter. We know what we want to do this. Takuya and Koji basically are a mem setter as well, but this thing has starter main phase. You may place 1 card with hybrid trait with different names from your trash as the bottom Digievolution cards. For each of your other Tamers, increase the number of cards you may place by 2. So this thing helps turbo to get yourself back into Emperor Grey or the Magna Guru as soon as possible, and that's kind of what you want to do. You want to turbo as soon as possible. Then you have Wind to Fire, Ice to Sword. So you may place up to 5 cards with hybrid traits, different names from your hand or trash under one of your Tamers. Then one of your Tamers with 5 or more cards under its Digivolutions may Digivolve into Emperor Greymon from your hand or trash, with ignoring Digievolution requirements without paying its cost. Not a bad trade up for a 3 cost, especially after the first one kind of gets wiped, or this gets you back into the game pretty quickly. So, and then security, you may play 1 Tamer with inheritable effects from your hand or trash without paying its cost, then add this card to hand. I really like this card. I think I'm going to say it's going to see some competitive play. The problem comes down to is just you got to have the Tamers on board as soon as possible. Ruler of Destruction and Regeneration. So while you have a Digimon with hybrid or 10 warrior traits, you ignore its Digivolution cards. One of your Digimon with Tamers or Digimon or Tamer may Digivolve into Suzanomon in your hand or trash without paying its cost. Then by placing up to 4 of your Tamers with different colors as a bottom Digievolution of one of your Suzano, for each card place, gain 1 memory. So it kind of wants you to play all of them as a one of unison, but who knows how that's going to end up. And then security, may play 1 Tamer with an inheritable effect from your hand or trash without paying its cost, then add this card to hand. Not a bad trade-off. I really like where this is going. I think it has a lot of potential, and we'll talk more about Suzanomon sooner than later. But for right now, we're looking pretty solid across the board. The Millenniummon definitely needs some TLC. The Emperor Greymon stuff looks like the most potent out of everything, just because it has so much support backing it, and everything kind of just blends together afterwards. Now we're getting into Blue itself. Blue kind of got shafted. It has the least amount of cards out of the set. You got Chapmon here, so while you have another Blue Digimon, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. I mean, yeah, Chapmon's a thing. Vanilla Sayokomon, it's an aquatic type. That's about it. Lanamon here, basically on play. When Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Among them, add 1 aquatic sea animal and 1 of its traits to your hand, or place 1 such at the bottom Digivolution of any of your blue Digimon. Return the rest of the bottom deck. When attacking, you may return 1 level 3 Digimon to the hand. Not a bad trade-off to balance to get threats off the board, right? I think it has a lot of potential, but the fact that Sayoko goes into Lana is really interesting. Then you have Calamaramon. So on play, when Digivolving, if you have a level 3 Digimon in its Digivolution cards, return 1 of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to its hand. If you have a level 3 Digimon and it's not in the Digivolution cards, you may place 1 level 3 Digimon card from your hand as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution. When attacking, does the same bounce effect. So it's kind of trying to do that shenanigans that we saw with the previous Lana and Calamaramon, is that basically they want to bounce stuff. And why do we have the e-girl pose here? Like, seriously. Mermayamon. So Mermayamon is basically here for being, when attacking, you may play one blue level 3 card or one tamer card from the Digivolution without paying its cost. It's its true evolutionary line. And then you have Ancient Mermarimon. So return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower to their hand for each other Digimon added one to this effect's maximum level. All turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area from this Digivolution card, you may return one blue level 4 lower card to your hand or play one such without paying its cost. And then it does Lana and Chimera. I think this is a decent one. We could see some possible potential, especially with any free ability to play her. And then you kind of just get Lana and Calamarimon underneath it, and it'll be solid. We'll have to see long term. Penguimon. So it's got jamming for the inheritable, and when this Digimon or any of your tamers would digivolve into a multicolor that is blue or red, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. Reduce Digivolution cost is going to be necessity. Kumamon, when Digivolving, trash the bottom 2 Digivolution of one of your opponent's Digimon, an upgrade for Kuma. And then when attacking, one of your Digimon or tamers may digivolve into a blue or red Digimon with hybrid traits from your hand with its Digivolution cost reduced by 1. You know the trade-off here, you're going to do some crazy shenanigans. And then all turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by your effects, you may play one tamer card with inheritable effects from the Digivolution cards without paying its cost. I'm not going to mention this for any more of the super rare champions. They all have this bottom effect, and I think they all have this when attacking effect. So we're going to skip those. Then you have Korikakumon. It's got jamming as inheritable, and on its main body, on play when digivolving one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cannot suspend until the end of turn. So this is an upgrade to its predecessor. I mean, it's not bad. I think this has a lot of potential, especially because that jamming inheritable is going to allow you to do some crazy shenanigans. Then you have Daipinmon. So the big popsicle swinging frosty machine is going to definitely probably see play. If it doesn't see play in hybrids, it's going to see play in Mugen because it's a cyborg and it gives plus 2000 DP. Main by placing one Kuma and one Korikaku from trash under one of your blue or red tamers. That tamer digivolves into this card for a cost of 3, ignoring Digivolution requirements. It has Ice Clad, so this thing can most likely deal with pretty decent amount of threats. And then when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards, and it's Ice now. Then you have Ancient Megatherimon. So this thing is your giant goat. So this thing is on play when digivolving, trash the bottom 2 Digivolution. All your opponent's Digimon, none of their Digimon with no Digivolution can suspend until the end of their turn. All turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area, you may play one level 4 or lower with Mammal Ice Snow hybrid from its Digivolution cards without paying its cost. Not a bad trade-off, it's decent enough. Tommy, oh, we remember Tommy being a plague, right? Well, start a main phase by trashing one card in hybrid or 10 warriors traits, gain 1 memory. So they all have this kind of ability here, so we can kind of just lump these up. When digivolving, trash the bottom Digivolution of one of your opponent's Digimon, then if your opponent has no Digivolution cards, draw a card. I think this is where they all differ. We'll stop talking about that top effect, because they're all going to just say, trash a card, gain a memory to extend your plays. Then we have yellow itself. Wanyamon is if you have a yellow tamer, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP. Candlemon is basically revealing the top 3, add 1 card with data trait and 1 card with witchery trait among them to your hand, return the rest of the bottom of the deck. And then all turns when this yellow Digimon with data or witchery trait would leave the barrier other than by opponent's effect. By trashing the top security, it doesn't. It just, I don't get why it just didn't say barrier. That's all I needed to say. Same thing with Wizardmon for the bottom and similar to Cannel. When digivolving, by trashing the top security card, draw and gain a memory, extending your play. Mistymon, so barrier on play when digivolving, by trashing your top security star, change the original DP of one of your Digimon to 6000 DP until the end of opponent's turn. And then when a card is removed from your security stack, you may unsuspend this Digimon. I mean, it's not bad. Change of one Digimon to 6000. I mean, being able to drop it down to 6,000 means you're now threatening stuff. And it just brings back the old-fashioned Mistymon shenanigans option that we had to see back in the day. Then we have Dynasmon Ace that has Raid, and then on play when Digivolving when attacking by trashing the top security star. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 DP until the end of turn. All turns when you have 3 or fewer security, this Digimon gains blocker and plus 2,000 DP. It's not a bad trade-off. This thing's tanky as hell. It all combos really nicely in its line, so it's not bad. Then you have Luxmon here. That's when any of your Digimon with Angel, Archangel, or 3 Great Angel traits are played, gain a memory. When attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP. Then you have Lucemon itself. Start a main phase on play by trashing 1 card in your hand. Your opponent may trash the top security stack. If this effect didn't trash, recovery 1. Not a bad trade-off. You force them. I love that Ukumon's in the background here, and then later it kind of still follows the pictures for a little bit. End of your turn by placing one of your level 6 Digimon as a top security shard. This Digimon may Digivolve into Chaos mode from your trash without paying its costs. So you kind of know what you're doing here. You use this to kind of combo off a little bit. Patamon's here for if you have a breeding area that empty by returning 1 Digimon with 3 Great Angel traits from your trash to the bottom of the deck. Play this card in your breeding area without paying its costs. Not bad. Then you have Pedomon, so security at the end of battle, you play this without paying its costs. We've seen this numerous times, and then it has an effect that for it's inheritable. When attacking one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP. I don't see it seeing any competitive play. Pata can possibly. That depends on the late game. Archai Angemon. So on deletion, recovery 1 for its inheritable. On play, on deletion, you may play 1 Digimon with Angel, Archangel, or 3 Great Angel traits from your hand as the bottom security stack. Then if you have 4 or more security, add the top card to your hand. Not a bad trade-off, kind of useful. We'll have to see long term. Lobomons, when attacking, if you have 7 fewer cards in your hand, draw for its inheritable. When Digivolving, search your security stack. You may add 1 card with hybrid or 10 warrior traits among them to your hand, recovery 1, then shuffle your security stack. If you added a card, you recover 1. Not bad. I think this has a lot of potential. Then you have Magna Guru naked mode here. So when Digivolving at end of opponent's turn, by placing 1 card in this Digi-Evolution card to the bottom of your security stack, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the same level as the card plays. All turns when a Digimon attacks by adding the top card of your security stack to hand, unsuspend this Digimon. I wish it had blocker or something, would be a little more beneficial, but hey, you do what you got. Metal Edamon here is for nature spirits. It DNAs with the colors above. Then on play, when Digivolving on deletion, one of your opponent's Digimon gets security attack 2 minus until the end of the turn, and then Digivolve one of their Digimon. Not a bad trade-off. Metal Edamon could possibly see play, but I will have to wait and see. Then Darkness to Light, Thunder to Cannon. So you may place up to 5 cards with hybrid in traits, different names from hand trash under one of your tamers. Then one of your tamers with 5 or more under its Digivolutions into Magna Guru from your hand, or trash ignore Digivolution cards without paying its cost. Then security, you may play 1 tamer, inheritable effect, hand trash without paying its cost, then add this card to hand. Not a bad trade-off, sets you up pretty decently. Dragon Roar, really scary card, actually has a lot of potential. When this card is trashed from your security, activate its security effect. While you have a yellow Digimon with data, witchery traits, you may ignore color requirements. By trashing the top security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 DP until the end of their turn. Then if you have 2 or fewer cards in security stack, place this card at the bottom of security stack. Not a bad trade-off, kind of keeps itself cycling a little bit. And this thing gets annoying because if it hits, this thing's just going to keep going back in. So security, delete one of your opponent's Digimon 6,000 DP or less. Then if you have 0 security cards, recovery 1. Not a bad trade-off here, right? I think that's makes your opponent have to time and be wary of what you're doing. Neemon, on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 hybrid 10 warrior traits and 1 yellow card, and it's heritable among them to your hand, return the rest of the bottom deck. Your turn, when any of your Digimon with inheritable effects is played, gain a memory. So Neemon and Buku will be definitely really useful. So definitely with the color benefits. Then we're going into green. We got the Beamon line. Porumon here. Start a main phase by placing 1 Digimon card with Royal Base trait in your hand, face up as a bottom of security. Add the top security to your hand. Kind of interesting that they went with green-esque effects, gaining yellow-esque effects here. That's kind of interesting. Fun Beamon, all turns, security, all your Digimon with Royal Base traits get plus 1,000 DP. On play, by placing one Digimon card with royal base traits in your hand, face up as a bottom security, face up as your bottom security stat card, add the top security stack to your hand. Kind of interesting how they kind of make it so that you're trying to get your fun Beamons while these things are here. They kind of give your Digimon boost in all turns plus 1000 DP. Then you have Waspmon. Security gains the same effect, 1000 to your royal bases. Bonus turn, none of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP can attack players. So you're trying to get your bases just to be a wall tank. And if they can't attack players, it gets really hard for them to deal damage. Cannon Beamon. Security, all turns, all your royal bases gain a blocker. On play, when digivolving for each of your face-up security card, digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. All turns, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon by battle, trash the top security stack. Royal Base is a cyborg, so we can expect to see it in Mugen. And then we have Tiger Vespamon. So Piercing Reboot. On play, when digivolving each of your face-up security cards, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then none of their Digimon can unsuspend until the end of turn. All turns, when another Digimon is deleted in battle, this Digimon may unsuspend. At least it gets 2 attacks with Piercing. Not terrible. Then you have Tinkermon. This is for your Sylphimon line, Kazuamon. Your turn, when this Digimon or any of your tamers would digivolve into a multicolored Digimon that is green or red, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1, and it gives Piercing. This is where the Piercing is coming from. Kazemon. When digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. When attacking one of your Digimon or tamers may digivolve into a green or red Digimon card with hybrid traits. So it's going to match the color of the card, so we're just going to skip this. All turns, same thing as the older ones. They are going to play the tamer. Zephyrmon is basically Piercing. On play, one of your Digimon gets plus 3000 DP on the opponent's turn and gives Piercing. Jet Sylphie. Look, a one that shouldn't get hit. So by placing one Kaze and Zephyr from your trash under one of your green or red tamers, they're all going to do this for the color requirements, and they're just going to need their other 2 pieces to kind of just do it for a 3 cost. Gains raid and suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or tamers. It cannot unsuspend until the end of turn, and all turns it gets plus 2000 DP. Then Ancient Kaze. On play, when digivolving, suspend all your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. None of your opponent's Digimon can unsuspend until the end of turn. When this Digimon would leave the battle area, you may play the level 4 lower bird, avian, or fairy in its traits, or hybrid from its Digivolution without paying its cost. Just kind of wants to get its bodies there. And you have Kaze and Zephyr as its Digicross requirements, making this a 7 cost. Then you have Pumamon here. That's while this Digimon is suspended, all your other Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Possible Bloomlord support, we'll have to see. Arbormon. On play, when digivolving, by suspending one of your green Digimon, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or tamers. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon is when attacking. Petalmon, same thing. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon when attacking. Then you may unsuspend one level 4 or lower Digimon with vegetation or plant. One of its traits. Possibility seeing this in Bloomlord, we'll have to see. Entomon. When this suspended Digimon would digivolve into a level 6 with vegetation or plant traits, reduce the Digivolution cost by 2. Not a bad trade-off. That reduced Digivolution might help out. Then you have Ancient Troymon. All turns. This card is probably one of the nuttiest low rarity Ancients, but when an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, trash the top card of security. This thing punishes so much, and I'm excited for it. Then you do have all turns. You know, it's going to play that level 4 lower from hand, or play one such card from its sources. Not a bad trade-off. Zoe's here. It's doing the same thing. You know, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon by battle, you may play one tamer card with inheritables from your hand without paying its cost. You know, this is all useful. They're all going to do something. This all helps you extend your plays. This one gives draw. Then we're getting into Black. Black's got a lot going for it. Zenith definitely came in with the Venmon snatches. You got JP doing his Ancient Beetle. I know people are upset about this, but we have to do it. Kozimon. All turns, when this Digimon is deleted, opponent's Digimon by battle, draw a card. Finally, Black has some decency. I don't understand why it's just not just when this Digimon is deleted in general, just draw a card. They could just definitely use it at this point. Kabuteri, basically your turn when a multicolor black or yellow, when you digivolve on top of your tamers or Digimon, reduce the Digivolution boss by 1, and then Blocker. Not a bad inheritable. Beetlemon just being Beetlemon until the end of opponent's turn. This Digimon cannot be deleted by opponent's effects. Great protection. You know how is this going. When digivolving, one of your Digimon or Tamers may digivolve into a black or yellow card. When attacking, you know, for the reduced cost of 1, this helps skip evolutions very quickly. All turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by your effect, you may place 1 Tamer card. You know the drill here. So, then we have Metal Kabuteri, blocker. On play, when digivolving, de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, blocker. Lightning is fun. Rhino Kabuteri, basically just doing everything what level 5s are doing across the board. Just takes that black or yellow Tamer and the 2 pieces it needs to make itself, and then it basically comes in for 3. Collision, all turns when an attack target is changed, you may unsuspend this Digimon. When attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP for the turn. Ancient Beetle, on play, when digivolving, de-digivolve 2 of your opponent's Digimon, and that's kind of all it's doing. Then you have Kotemon, on play, by trashing 1 card with Nightmon in its text in your hand, draw 2 cards. To be honest with you, this is looking more and more great for Dark Nightmon. Gladiamon, by trashing 1 card with Nightmon in its text in your hand, one of your Digimon cannot be deleted by your opponent's effects until the end of turn. All turns, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP. Nightmon's blocker, end of opponent's turn, you may choose one of your opponent's Digimon. Your opponent attacks with chosen Digimon. All turns, your opponent's Digimon with Nightmon in their name. All your Digimon with Nightmon in their name gets plus 2,000 DP for an inheritable. Not a bad trade-off. Has a lot of potential. Then we have Zenimon. All turns when your opponent can't gain memory except with Tamers. Yes, we got an upgrade to Chumon because now it's a 2,000 DP black Digimon. Then we have Mercurymon. Opponent gets plus 2,000 DP. Until the end of opponent's turn, your opponent's effects cannot return this Digimon to hand or deck. Pretty decent to just make it so it's sticky. Sephirothmon, opponent's turn, this Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP by placing 1 level 4 or lower hybrid with Seraphmon in his hand or trash at the bottom Digi-Evolution. You may activate on-play effects of the place card as this effect. Not a bad trade-off. I think this has a lot of potential and could see some serious play with its older support. Wisemon's just blocker, reveal the top 5 cards of either player's deck, return the revealed cards to the top or bottom of their deck. I mean, hey, just being able to manipulate your opponent's deck is always beneficial. Shadow Seraphe, Ace. This is an interesting one. So on play, when digivolving, de-digivolve 3 of one of your opponent's Digimon, and then all turns when an attack target is changed, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5,000 DP for the turn. Shadow Seraphe is really interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with it long term, but being able to de-digivolve your opponent's stack by 3 and then block it because you force them to attack, really good. And this is definitely great support for our good friend Numemon. Ancient Wisemon, on play, when digivolving, you may reveal the top 3 cards of deck, play 1 black card with a play cost 7 or less among them without paying its cost, trash the rest, and then it basically does the whole thing when it leaves the battle area. Either puts it, you know, in your hand or plays 1. And digicrosses with Seraph and Mercury. Then you have Venmon here. So Venmon is on play, reveal the top 3 cards among them, add 1 card with Venmon in its text to your hand, place 1 Venmon as a bottom Digi-Evolution of one of your Digimon, return the rest to the bottom of deck. So basically, this is just to support your Venmons you already have, and then when this Digimon would digivolve into a Digimon with Venmon in its text, reduce the Digi-Evolution cost by 1. Not a bad trade-off. Snatchmon is just Joggersing for 4 Venmons. This helped out a lot. This is going to help out because, let's be honest, you have no other Digimon then Venmon. Cards in your trash may also be placed for Digicross. So if your Venmon gets blown up a couple times and you promote another Venmon up, this will just take the ones from trash, which is pretty good for its Digicross, and it becomes reduced. So it becomes a 2 cost. When digivolving, you may place up to 2 Venmons from trash to the bottom of Digi-Evolution. End of your turn. If you have 4 or more Digi-Evolution cards, this Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon with Venmon and stacks from your hand. So, and it turns decent, and then all turns when a Venmon is returned from this Digi-Evolution card to the bottom of the deck, unsuspend the Digimon, and it gains blocker until the end of opponent's turn. I mean, there could be a lot of things going on with it, but for Snatchmon, Venmon shenanigans, let's talk about Zenith then. You know, by trashing 1 Venmon hand, draw a card, gain a memory. So we gained a cool, Analog Man-esque effect, and then your turn, when any of your Digimon attacks by spending this Tamer, return 2 Venmon from your Digi-Evolutions to that Digimon to the bottom deck. Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So, all good stuff, all good stuff. So I'm excited to see where this goes, and this could lead to something else. Trailmon, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 Tamer card and 1 black level 4 or lower among them as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card. Return the rest of the top or bottom of your deck. Opponent's turn, you may play 1 Tamer card from this Digivolution card without paying its cost. You may play 1 from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying its cost. So I kind of get where they're going with it because this transferred the kids around. So yeah, while this Digimon has machine in traits, it gains collision. Not bad. I mean, you're going to combo it with Mugen. So Machine Dramon here on play. When Digivolve, de-Digivolve all your opponent's Digimon. On deletion, 1 of your Chimeras in play and 1 Machine Dramon in trash. May DNA Digivolve into Millenniumon in hand. Opponent's turn, when any of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target of 1 of your Digimon with Compensate or Wicked God traits. And then when this Digimon would be played by deleting 1 of your other Digimon with Compost trait, reduce the play cost by 4. So he becomes down to a 7 cost naturally. Not bad. And then you have JP here just being the same shenanigans we talked about earlier. Then we're getting into purple. We got purple left and then white. So we have Ferrymon. So on deletion for each color among your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, trash the top card of your deck. So this helps to mill you out. This is not bad. Then you have Lilomon, this lion here, retaliation. When this Digimon, they do all the same thing. When this Digimon or any of your Tamers would Digivolve into a multicolored Digimon, a purple or yellow, reduces the cost by 1. Then you have Loemon. Loe is really interesting. It kind of got really good support with its other line of Duskmon. So draw a card, trash a card in your hand. When attacking 1 of your Digimon or Tamers, may Digivolve into a purple with hybrid in your trash. Not bad. And this one will just play a Tamer. We know this. All the rookies, the champions do this. Retaliation on play when Digivolve and delete 1 of your opponent's level 4 or lowers. Not bad. Then you have Duskmon here on play when Digivolving until the end of opponent's turn. Change 1 of their Digimon or Tamers into a color other than white. So this can screw up evolutionary lines really badly, but black text kind of fixes a little bit of this. Just keep that in mind. When attacking 1 of your Digimon or Tamers, may Digivolve into a level 4 or lower hybrid traits from trash with its Digivolution cost reduced by 1. On deletion, play 1 Tamer with a play cost 4 or less from your trash without paying its cost. Velgramon. So this is giant bird. On play when Digivolving for each color among your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, trash the top card of both players' deck. Then if this Digimon gets plus 1,000 each card trashed by this effect, end of attack, delete 1 level 4 or lower. Delete all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. So not bad. Retaliation kind of does some shenanigans. They have Raiheimon. So by placing 1 Laui or Kaiser Leo from the trash under 1 of your purple or yellow Tamers, that Tamer Digivolves into this card for Digivolution cost 3, ignoring Digivolution requirements. Jamming. You know, one thing I kind of wish they did was before they did the whole, Koji Takuya show, they made it so everybody got their fusion ultimate levels, because they never did that in the anime, and it kind of upsetted me. Jamming, when Digivolve, you may play 1 Tamer with inheritable effects from your trash without paying its cost. Then 1 of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP for the turn. Ancient Sphinxmon, they're going to do Laui Dusk and Kaiser Leo and Valgra, but this one's pretty decent because it kind of can use 4 of them, and, having being that you're not restricted just to 1 and you can play your full playset line of these can lead to being some decency. But let's see, on play when Digivolving, delete 1 of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. I don't think Ancient Sphinxmon's going to see much competitive play, but it's there. Then you have Oberomon. On play when Digivolving, delete 1 red, green, purple, or white level 4 or lower Digimon. Then delete 1 blue, yellow, black, or white Tamer with a play cost 3 or less. Kind of interesting how it works and is useful. Then you have a Retaliation. Then you have Zambamon. So when any of your Digimon would Digivolve into this card, for each color in your opponent's trash, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. And then your turn, for every 2 colors in your opponent's trash, this Digimon gains security attack 1 plus 2,000 DP. Possibly seeing some plays as a 1 of spicy tech, especially if you see high number of multicolors. Then you have Lucemon Chaos Mode. So on play when Digivolving, Your opponent may delete one of their Digimon or Tamers. If an effect did not delete, recovery 1 and then trash the top card of your opponent's security stack all turn. When this Digimon would leave the barrier, by trashing the bottom card of your security stack, it does not leave. Lucemon Chaos Mode is going to be annoyingly sticky. Just keeping you in mind of that. Lord Nightmon Ace, holy cow, we gave Dark Nightmon some support. When Digivolving, you may play a level 5 or lower Digimon with Nightmon in its text from your hand or trash without paying its cost. All turns, all Digimon with as much or less DP than its Digimon gains collision. Violet and Boots, why are you here? Like, to be honest with you, you don't even have your Digimon partner here. That just confuses me why they're just doing this. But start a main phase by trashing one option card or one card with Ghosts or 3 Musketeer traits in your hand, draw a card. This helps speed up your 3 Musketeers at the moment until we get Ghost. Koichi is just similar to everything. You may return one card with Hybrid or 10 Warrior traits from your trash to your hand. And then this one will gain you memory. This one has Fist of Athena. One of your opponent's Digimon gains starter main phase. This Digimon attacks until the end of turn and then place this card into the battle area. When an attack target is changed, delay one of your Digimon gains piercing and security attack 1 until the end of your turn. This is really solid because now you're forcing your opponents to do something, especially against like Dark Nightmon. You can get into Lord Nightmon Ace and then just have them have a bad time. Then you may place one level 5 or lower card with Nightmon in its text from your trash without paying its cost, then place this card into the battle area. Not bad. Then you have the Gospel of the Fallen Angel. So your Digimon in the breeding area may digivolve into Lucemon from trash without paying its cost. So then place this card into the battle area. Delay. You may digivolve one of your Digimon with Lucemon in its name into a Digimon with Lucemon in its name from your trash with Digivolution cost reduced by 3. And then trash one option in your opponent's battle area. So this now gets rid of delay cards. Very interesting to be the first one. It's kind of pricey, but it's kind of just expected. Then we have Lucemon Satan mode. When digivolving by placing one Lucemon larvae from your trash into an empty space in your breeding area without paying its cost, delete one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. End of all turns. Trash your opponent's top security card. If this card effect didn't trash, delete one of your opponent's Digimon and Tamer. So, not a bad effect. Not a bad effect. Just forcing your opponent to lose value is very scary. And I love the art, to be honest with you. Really professional. Then we have the white cards. Lucemon Larvae mode. So you may play one Lucemon from your trash without paying its cost for its security. And then breeding all turns when any of your Lucemon Satan modes would leave the barrier. By moving this Digimon into battery, they do not leave. In all turns, while you have a non-white Digimon Lucemon in its name, none of your Digimon with 0 DP can be deleted. So this thing becomes a sticky body on the board that you really do not want to deal with. And the problem comes down to can he attack? Do you need DP to attack? I think so. You just won't swing in with him until you're sure that you can deal some damage. But Susano Ace, when digivolving, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10,000 DP or less. For each color in this Digivolution cards, add 2,000 DP to the basic and delete its effects maximum. And then when attacking, by placing up to 5 Tamers from this Digivolution card as a bottom security stack, trash your opponent's top security star for each card placed by this effect. Overflow 5, but here's a little interesting tidbit about this thing. It cannot Blast Ace on top of your Takuya or Koji with 10 hybrid traits under them, okay? You can't Blast Ace this, okay? So just keep that in mind, but you're just going to be able to do your shenanigans with it. Suzanomon Ace is very scary, to be honest. But all in all, though, guys, not bad for all the cards that got revealed. I know this is going to be our conjoined set, so it's going to suck, but hey, we got to work with what we got, right? So enjoy. So guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.